Welcome back, everybody, to another lesson. So, this lesson, we'll be talking about the map size method. Sorry, the map size is a property, not a method. There's a difference between a property and a method. So, it's a method, it's a property, rather, that returns the number of elements in a map. In the previous lesson, we talked about how you can use the set method to add elements to a map. And then I showed us two practical examples. The first is by setting and passing the element you want to add through the set method. And the second is by overriding what you already have in your map array. So moving away from that, we are going to talk about the map size. The size property returns the number of elements in a map. If you want to know the number of elements that is present in a map, in a map object, the size property is what you use to check. So let's take a look at an example of how you can do that in JavaScript. Map size property. So the size property can be used to check the number of values in your map objects. So let's make another example. Let's call it passing in the new, we'll use the new map constructor to create it. And inside this place, we can have what we want to add. So now I have these three elements inside my map, right? And I want to check the number of values in this map object. So how do I do it? So I can easily just pass the property document.get element by id demo1 dot inner html equals to fruit, which is my map object, and then pass in the property. And as you can see, we are getting 3 on the output, which means that inside this map object, I have 3 values, which is 1, 2, 3, and that is correct. So the size property works with values and not with index or not with index position, just as we discover is when we were talking about array. So index counting in programming starts from 0. So when you are using the size property, it doesn't count with the index position. So it will count based on the actual value it can find inside the context of wherever you are trying to use it. So the size property is telling us that this particular map contains 3 elements inside it. So moving away from this, let's quickly take a look at the map delete function, the map delete method. So the difference between a property and a method is that you can see that when we are talking about method, it is usually denoted by this opening and closing bracket to signify that this is a method and not a property. Now, the delete method removes a map element. If you want to remove a map element, you use the delete method. And let's take a look at an example by which you can actually do that. So let me make this and say city new map constructor. So now I want to do Brazil. Let me do 1860. Cameroon, 1890. England, 2021. So because this is the last element, I can add or omit the comma, does not matter. So now that I have my map objects, as you can see, now if I want to delete out of this, how do I do it? So that is where the delete method comes in handy. So how to delete is just by passing what I have inside the delete method. So what do I want to delete? I want to delete Cameroon. Now let me use small letters so that you see something that you should always take note of now. Now I can say document dot get element by item dot inner HTML equals fruit dot size. So let's see if that has been removed from it. And here nothing is showing. Why? Let me inspect. I don't need to inspect because of the fact that Cameroon is capital C, but here I'm using small letter C. So case sensitivity is important when working with JavaScript because small letter is not the same as capital letter. And even at this, sorry, when I want to delete here, let me see, there should be an error. Fruit is not divine. Yes. You should be aware of your words, your name. Naming convention is very important. So what I'm searching, what I'm applying the this thing on the method on does not even exist in my code. So if you take a look at it, you can see that this has reduced from 3 to 2 because this city has been deleted. But if I use a small letter, it should give me 3 because it cannot phantom the small letter. So it can't find it inside what I have here due to the case sensitivity. So, but if I change it to capital C, you will see it will remain true. Now, if I say I want to delete one more, delete England. Now, take a look. So we have one more. And if I decide to delete Brazil, this is how to continue to reduce. So this is how you use the JavaScript delete method. Delete method. So this is it, the delete method. So again, let's go over it. The delete method removes a map element. The delete method, the delete method removes a map element. So as you can see, so it helps to remove a map element using it this way. You can see as we begin to add to this element, it will begin to remove them from the original element. So this is how you use the delete method to remove elements from a map. Thank you, and in the next lesson, I'll see you.